Welcome everybody to the regular meeting of the Historic District Commission on October 20th here at 5:30 p.m. starting at 5:33 p.m. So I just have a few little bit of introductory comments before we begin. I'm just going to explain how the procedure will run tonight. For everyone's benefit, this call is being recorded, so just please be aware of that. And I would just request that everyone who is not speaking would just mute themselves so that we don't pick up any background noise in the recording. So that'd be helpful. So welcome everybody. For those who don't know me, I'm Regan Miner. I am the chairwoman here in the Historic District Commission. Our meeting tonight will be broken up into two sections. The first portion of the meeting will be the public hearing, and the second portion will be the regular meeting. The public hearing is the opportunity for the applicants to present their applications to the commission and for the commission to ask the applicants questions. Once the public hearing closes, the regular meeting will then begin. The regular meeting is where the commission discusses and votes on applications, and applicants are welcome to stay and listen to the regular meeting, but you will not be permitted to speak or provide any more additional information to your application. It is not required that applicants stay during the regular meeting. You can if you'd like to. Regardless, all applicants will receive written notification regarding the commission's decision tomorrow. And I will just make a quick comment that I have a conflict tomorrow morning starting at 8:30 in the morning where I probably won't get to sending out these approvals or decisions by the afternoon on Thursday. So I'm just saying that ahead of time that I have a work commitment at 8:30 tomorrow morning that will last till about noon. So I try to get them done early, but tomorrow is just going to have to be a little bit later than I normally do. So just wanted to throw that out there at the beginning. So any questions before we jump right into the public hearing? Hearing none, I'm going to open up the public hearing here at 5:35 p.m. And the first COA we have on our agenda is COA 469 2 Town Street, which is Society of the Founders of Norwich. I am kind of going to do double duty on this because this is an application that the Norwich Historical Society submitted on behalf of the Society of the Founders of Norwich. So I am going to do double duty and give a brief presentation of this application for the commission. And I will then recuse myself from the vote when that comes later on in the meeting. So just to start with, I know the commission has been made aware that the Historical Society and the Society of the Founders of Norwich, who own and operate the Leffingwell House Museum, have a partnership where the Norwich Historical Society is seeking grant funding to help restore two of the properties that the Society of the Founders of Norwich own, the Joseph Carpenter Silversmith Shop on the Norrichtown Green, and then the David Greenleaf House located at 2 Town Street, which is the subject of the COA application. The Historical Society received a grant from the State Preservation Office to work on the site and also the lower level basement area of the building. We have a contractor working on the interior of the lower level basement now. We went out to bid this past summer and got a contractor in place, and he's working on stabilizing the building from the inside. Oh, and I think I got one more person. Hang on. Okay, sorry, we'll just do a quick pause, everybody. Hi, Greg. Are you with us? All right, Greg, why don't you just get your audio set and I'm gonna keep talking if that's okay with you. All right, I'm gonna keep talking. Oh, there we go. Here, there he is.
Oh, there, okay.
Thanks for joining us, Greg. We just got started. So we're on the first COA, which is 2 Town Street.
Greg, turn your sound on. Let's watch his lips moving. Turn your sound on.
Are you muted, Greg? We can't hear you.
Oh, that's interesting.
You're not muted from my perspective, Greg, so I don't know what's up with your audio. Oh, here he comes. Try speaking, Greg.
Hello.
There we go. All right. Now we got
Okay.
you.
All right, good deal.
So I'm going to now ask you to mute while we talk about the applications right here. So we're just on COA 469 Two Town Street. So we just got started. So the nature of the COA that the Norwich Historical Society has applied for is for the site work at Two Town Street. And the ultimate plan is to have a grass area that can be used for events, for extra parking as need be, and just have it be a multi-purpose space. Unfortunately, I was hoping to have this site work done this fall, but many contractors have been extremely busy and they are unable to do the work until the spring. So what we're doing just right now in the fall to utilize a contractor's availability in the short term is, in order to get our contractor who is working on the interior of the building to the building, because for those of you who are familiar with the site, there's an extremely steep grade that we cannot even get a dumpster or truck close to the building. At this immediate time, we are just proposing to bring in a little fill to at least grade the property to a level where we can get a truck and a dumpster down to the lower basement level of the building. Ultimately, the spring site work will be completed, which will be the full extent of the site plan, which will just include seeding and grading of the property. The site plan calls.
That, are you speaking to the right of the house facing the street? Or are you talking about the ramp going down from Leffingwell?
I'm talking about the Two Town Street itself, the property, like the property behind the building.
No, I know the property that you're talking about. I'm just wondering what you're describing there as far as the ramp goes in that.
Well, if you look on page, let me get my
Page 4.
Hang on, I've got too many files up.
I'm thinking the second picture is probably the one that you're going to tell us where the fill
Yeah,
goes
so
in.
the second picture that you can see in the COA is you see that there's a ramp going down into the property. That is where we're going to need to add some fill, because you can see that the grade is pretty steep and there are even more rocks in place today than there were a year ago when this photo was taken. So that is what's going to be packed with some soil to get to be stable so a truck and dumpster can get down to that lower area.
Okay, you're speaking to the ramp that goes down behind Leffingwell.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
so we're just adding fill to that to make it level and we
Right,
can
no,
get a
I
truck down.
understand. I'm very familiar with it.
Oh, I know you are. The other thing I just wanted to mention is the site plan ultimately and eventually calls for a concrete handicap parking space with a concrete walkway leading to the building and a patio and also a stairway connector to Leffingwell. Those are all going to be in the way future that we cannot afford right now. So the nature of this COA is, number one, the immediate change of adding a little bit more fill to the current site to allow for vehicles and dumpsters to access the site. And then number two, in the spring, is the full extent of the site work, which would be the full grading and the full seeding of the property. And then part three, down the road, a long time from now, will be the concrete work that I was explaining before. So that is kind of where we're at. I know I threw a lot at you. If you have questions, please let me know. No questions? Wow, I expected more, more questions and concerns. Okay.
So
All right.
Regan, I do. So you're just really trying to fill and kind of level to the extent you can, or just make it look halfway decent on a temporary basis at the moment. Is that sort of it?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, yeah.
And it's only up closer to the house. The whole seating will happen next year somewhere. You're just trying to get some fill in there, a little bit of seating, something to cut out that, wherever that car is, as you look at the back of the house, back out toward the street, it would be
Mhm.
that area right there.
We're not even doing seating this year. Basically, we're
Yeah.
just bringing in some fill just to get the trucks
Yeah.
down there. The seating
Yep.
will be in the spring.
Yep,
Mm.
okay.
And the two pictures that I provided are just showing you what the site looked like last year when we did have the invasive plants removed. So it will look similar to this when we finish clearing the invasive species of the site that are currently there, and then just adding a little bit of fill to make it level. So that is somewhat what it will look like when
Yeah.
the contractor's done.
I don't know how hard it is for the Japanese bamboo to jump or whatever, but appreciate taking that out from the Lothorpe Meadows standpoint, because I know we have some that's down Butts
Mhm.
Lane, that area coming into the meadow, I think is
Mhm.
we have to deal with. So thank you.
Yeah, it's a concern. And so what we're ultimately going to do when the real grading can get done in the spring is it's all going to get, all the invasive species will get ripped up and treated to make sure that it doesn't grow back for next year. That's the goal.
Are you, in your future plans, are you going to delineate the lot line with a fence?
That's a good question, Richard. We haven't discussed that, but that can be for future consideration.
Yeah,
Because the neighbors there tend to use that lot, that area.
Yeah, one option we could do down the road is maybe kind of a green barrier with arborvitaes or some sort of buffer.
Yeah.
But that could be down the road. We haven't discussed that at this phase.
Chain link fence.
Yes. Barbed wire.
barbed wire, electrified.
Are there any other questions?
The new paint job on the front of the house looks good.
Oh, thanks. Ultimately, we'll get that porch side too, but that will take some more money.
Getting rid of the porch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Any further questions?
No,
Okay, great. Hearing none, I'm going to then move down on the agenda to COA 470, 71 East Town Street, which is also the Society of the Founders of Norwich. And I'm going to turn it over to my compatriot over here to discuss the plans.
Hello, everybody. We
Hello.
are submitting COA for installing a new sign out front of the Joseph Carpenter Silversmith shop, which has now been recently opened as a museum property under Society of the Founders. So I submitted the mock-up of the design with the application. It'll be similar to the signs we've used at Leffingwell before. It's the same company that will be making them. It'll be wooden boards attached to a period style bracket. I'm happy to take any questions, specific questions that anybody has.
And how does that compare to the existing sign?
There is no sign.
I thought there's a plaque or something there that talks about it.
There is a small nameplate on the building, but there's no hanging sign out front.
I've got a hanging sign in the front that we got from Vistaprint, Greg.
We currently have a sign on the front we got from Vistaprint that will be changed, so it's very much in keeping with the one in front of the visitor center.
Right.
Okay.
The one in front of the visitor center has a peaked roof type thing
No.
on it.
No,
You're not going to do that?
They prefer to keep it plain.
we're going to try to keep
has
it.
what did you say, Richard?
The sign in front of the visitor center, according to the picture here and seeing it, it has like a house roof peak on it, top of it.
Yes.
And the carpenter shop sign does not. That's all.
No, it's not
Yeah,
going
don't
to
want
be a
it.
direct copy of that. No.
Okay.
Good
The
observation.
material of the post, the material of the post at the visitor center, is that wood, or is the new one is going to be, I think I read metal, correct? So
Yeah, but
Correct.
vinyl coated metal.
vinyl coated metal, okay. And
Yeah,
are
that's
both
the
of them
post.
vinyl coated metal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so, Tim. I'd have to go
Mhm.
back
Yeah.
and look at my records, but I think so.
That's what
Yeah.
they make, those people, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the ones for the Leffingwell sign, they're wood and it's, or rather metal and then vinyl coated.
Hey, Dane, does the city have regulations on signage?
Does the what? I'm sorry?
Does the city have
Yeah.
regulations on signage?
Yes, it
Yes,
does.
it's in the write-up for our rules. It's not very clear, and it's not very, so it
It's
leaves a lot of
not.
latitude.
No. I don't know that this would violate any particular rule, existing
No.
rule, no.
I don't suspect that it would because it's just duplicating literally size-wise the sign in front of the visitor center, and that's already gone through the system, as you know.
Right.
Yeah, that was kind of more out of curiosity on my part because people have asked me about signs. So
Mhm.
Greg, are you asking about the city having rules for signs or the HDC having rules for signs?
the city. I mean, I know that's not, it's not up to us to enforce the city's rules. I was just curious if there was, if Dane had researched that and knew what the city rule was.
Mhm.
I would ask the zoning enforcement officer, Greg, as I don't know off the top of my head what the city's
Yeah.
rules of signage is. I'm not sure.
Should I know what IC stands for?
Yes, JC.
Yes.
It's Joseph Carpenter.
Joseph
But they
Carpenter
use the-
spelled out in Latin, or the, not Latin.
With the Latin, yeah.
I
because
got
it's
that. All right.
Educated quality image, you know. Mhm.
Hey, I knew that answer. I went over to the museum a week or two ago and they had the open house over there.
Mhm.
So I learned that.
Well, thank you. Did you like it?
Yeah. I saw the new clock there. That's beautiful.
Isn't that lovely? Yeah, Joseph made that
Yeah.
in that building.
I thought that's pretty incredible to get that.
Mhm.
All right, thank you, guys. Is there any further questions for the applicant? Okay, great. Well, thank you. You're welcome to
right.
stay, but you can also go.
Thank you all very much.
Don't you go home.
Okay, so moving forward on the agenda, we have COA 471, 363 Washington Street. I don't believe we have anybody here to speak on behalf of this application. Is there anyone here to speak on COA 471? Hearing none, I'm going to then move forward here to COA 472, which is 87 Town Street. And I believe we do have a representative here to speak on that application. So Judy, I'll let you take it away and you can kind of tell us what your plans are.
Hi, I'm Judy Bell, lifetime citizen of Norwich, Connecticut. We're from Sweet Mamas and we're looking to put a awning in front of the building, some kind of signage so people know that we are there. There's an overhead that's there now. That would stay. I sent photos and the awning would just hang down from there. I sent photos and I also sent a proposal from Overhead Doors who looked at it and said it would work. The problem that we have is that in the summertime, it's really hot in that building because there's no shade coming down to the window. So therefore the window sweats and nobody can see that we're there because you can't even see in it or out it. It's really hard to see without some kind of shade coming down. And we do need a sign because the only sign that we do have is the one that sticks to the window. We spoke to the landlord who's on board with us. And I guess that's about it. I don't know if there's any questions.
That sounds good. Thank you, Judy. The only thing I'll just mention is, could you just tell us what Overhead Doors said to you guys? Because I actually didn't get that in the application. So if you would just be willing to verbally just tell us what
Yeah,
they proposed.
They,
that'd be
They just told us how it would look and the cost, and that the overhead that's hanging there would not have to be removed. It would be an awning that if we left, we could take it with us or whatever. So he said
Okay.
it's very simple to do. So I did forward a copy of the proposal. It came in a separate email from me, so I'm not sure if you got it or the first person, to Scott, somebody.
I know that I got an email from you, which was your COA and the images, like I got your application, the images. I did not get the proposal from Overhead Doors, so I don't know how that got lost, but that's the one thing I didn't get.
And resend it if you like.
Okay,
Yeah, she said she sent it to Scott, Regan.
yeah,
Yes,
I will follow up with him.
Yeah,
Sent it.
well, you might want to give her a different address to send it to.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead,
Under-
Greg.
Under construction, I assume it's metal frame and canvas? Not wood?
The overhead that's hanging there now,
Yeah.
or what's
No,
gonna,
the one you're gonna put in.
yes,
Yeah, I mean, like metal pipe, metal frame and like a canvas with the design on it, right? Or your
Yeah.
graphic.
it would say
Okay.
farmers on it.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
About how
this is-
far down will it hang?
I'm thinking can't remember what he has on the overdoor head, but I believe it
Mhm.
was what, maybe 2 feet. I'm not quite sure, or 20, in between 12 and 20, 24. But I would have to look on there again to see what it had said.
And
Okay, thank you.
the awning would extend past, it would extend the complete length of the overhead. Like one of the pictures you have, it seems to be just on the, makes it seem like it's only up to the doorway, but I know the overhead goes past the doorway over to the right-hand side, a window. So I'm
Right.
not sure. It'll go it'll extend the complete length of the,
Yes, it extended
Oh.
the complete length. So if you're standing in front of Sweet Mama's, it'll go straight across and then it like curves to go up the hill. So it would go down from there.
okay.
So Judy,
gonna-
basically, it's going to cover the
The
just
wood-
follow the line of the existing awning, the existing overhang, correct?
Right, correct. Over
Okay.
the, yes.
Judy, are you planning on hopefully putting your logo on the awning, or is it just gonna say Sweet Mamas?
It's gonna put the logo and it's gonna say Sweet Mamas.
Perfect. Sounds great.
And the reason why too that we're going straight across is the landlord has given us the other side. So we're just waiting to, for them to clean out what they have to clean out over there before we can get started on that side.
Sounds great.
And you say it does wrap around the corner, or it's just on the one straight side?
We were gonna wrap around the corner because there's another big glass picture window there that fogs up also.
The angle there, yeah, okay.
Yes.
This is what I miss about in-person meetings, because I bet there'd be cupcakes or whatever at this presentation. Mm.
I brought cookies.
Yeah.
Judy's eating them now. We just can't see them.
That's why I don't have video on.
Well, all this sounds great, Judy. So do any other members of the commission have questions for Judy?
Judy, did you say what material the awning would be made of?
I believe it's like a cloth type material. I'm gonna go back and look at what Overhead wrote, and I'm gonna, Regan, I'll resend it to you because you gave me your card.
Yes,
So-
yep.
That to you tonight.
Okay. Okay,
My-
sounds good.
My experience is they tend to come out vinyl coated canvas,
Fine, code it. Okay.
but you'll see. Yeah,
Yeah, and Judy, I also just wanted to let you know that I do have your physical COA in front of me, but I still somehow have lost or didn't get the overhead door quote, so
Okay.
that's
make-
fine.
I'll get it tonight.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, if you could give it to us just sooner rather than later so that we could make sure we have it when we're making decisions in the regular meeting, that would be super.
Okay, definitely.
Awesome, perfect. Well, Judy, you're welcome to stick around if you'd like to. If you have any further things to add to your application, now would be the time. And if any further questions from the commission would be presented at this time as well.
Yes, I did have one other question. So
Sure.
Overhead was our first person that we went to. So if we are approved, would we be able to switch a person, or, because he was very costly? So we just wanted to see if we can get it a little cheaper price than what he was asking.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we don't have a preference on contractors.
Oh,
So we don't care if you go with Overhead or Home Depot or whatever you want to end up doing. We're
Okay.
just mostly concerned about the design and material of the awning. So if you are planning on doing the same thing that Overhead had proposed, but maybe
Yeah.
with just another contractor, I don't see a problem with that.
okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And in the future too, Judy, I'll just tell you that if you want to drop off a physical COA, you could bring it to the visitor center here and you could just slip it in the mailbox at 69 East Town Street. So that's the direct way to get me.
Now, is that where I dropped it off before? At that little house?
I don't know where you dropped it off. Somehow Scott Lerner, our former chairman, got the COA. So I don't really know how he got it.
Okay. I think it was 20, it was around the corner from Sweet Mama's. And you
Okay.
turned to the left. I went to a house, but nobody was there. There were just cats laying on it, sitting there.
That would have been Scott's house. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
So yeah, you can just come to the visitor center from now on, 69 East Town Street. You can just
Okay.
throw something in the mailbox or email me like you did too. So whatever is easiest for you guys.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Perfect. All right. Any other members of the commission have any further questions for Judy? Okay. Hearing none. Judy, like I said, you're welcome to stick around. You're not required to. I will email you tomorrow afternoon regarding the commission's decision because I've got work commitments in the morning. But if you could send me the overhead invoices as soon as you could, that would be super helpful.
Okay. I'm going to leave now and send you that.
Excellent. I appreciate it. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you.
Talk to
Yep.
you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so next COA on our agenda is COA 473, 389 Washington Street. I do not believe we have anyone here to discuss this application either. Is there anyone here to discuss COA 473? All right.
It's just us left.
I think it's just, I think it's just us too. Okay, so seeing no applicant present, I'm going to close the public hearing and open the regular meeting here at 6:01 p.m. And the first action on our agenda is action on COAs. And what Tim, I'm going to ask you to take over for the first COA because that was my application. So I need to recuse myself from this. So Tim, would you mind taking over for a few minutes for me, please?
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to discuss COA 469.
So Tim, I'll make a motion that we accept the COA as presented.
I'll second the motion.
All right. We have Greg making the motion and Nancy seconding.
Yes.
We can still discuss it. So does anyone
Yes.
have any discussion on this?
No,
It
I'm-
seems
like the-
appropriate to me.
Yeah.
I don't think I have too much discussion. It looks like a reasonable thing to do.
Right. I think the bigger discussion would be later on. This is just a temporary thing to get the construction going here, whatever. So I don't have anything else. So hearing no other discussion, put it to a vote. All in favor? I don't have everyone in front of me, but I'm going to go by Richard.
He said aye, but he was muted. I saw him wave.
He's
Don't
waved.
tell me
Aye.
what you do.
I forgot to
All right.
unmute.
Greg J,
Aye.
Nancy,
Greg.
Aye.
Greg F,
Aye.
and I'm going to say aye. Reagan is abstaining, so sounds
Ready
like
to dig.
sounds like it passes.
Yes.
All right. I yield the floor to the esteemed chairperson.
Thank you very much, esteemed Vice Chairperson. I appreciate it. So the next COA we have is COA 470, 71 East Town Street. And I would entertain a motion to accept the application as submitted and presented.
I move we accept the application.
Thank you, Nancy. Is there a second?
Second.
I'll second that.
And that's Tim. Thank you so much. Any discussion? Is there, go ahead, Nancy. Do you have a discussion?
Well, this is the sign, right? I'm on the
Yeah,
right
this is
number,
the sign.
470 is what I thought, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
The sign looks appropriate to me. It's much like the other one at the visitor center. It's not identical, lacks the hood or the roof or whatever Richard was talking about. But it looks entirely appropriate to me, so I think we should approve it.
Sounds good. Thank
The other
you.
difference is the post itself doesn't have the ball on top. It just has a tapered peak, so on the post, but looks good to me too.
Well,
I need
it's
to
simple and
close.
that's a good thing.
I need to recluse myself because it's our
Yeah,
problem.
I was gonna say, Greg, you're gonna recuse yourself when we vote, yes.
Yes, by all means.
I think
Yeah.
since it's a silversmith shop, they should make it out of solid silver.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I bet that'll
We've
last.
had the forge. We found the forge.
You can always you can always volunteer to polish it.
Yeah, there you
It
go.
won't last long if it were silver. You know that. It'd be gone.
All right, any further discussion on the application?
No,
All right, hearing none, I'll do the roll call vote, and I'm fortunate where I can see everybody's faces, so I'm just going where you are in my Zoom room. So I'm gonna start with you, Richard,
Aye.
Greg Johnson,
you're muted.
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
and Greg Farlow.
He's abstaining, I thought.
He's gonna recuse,
Recuse, whatever.
but he's muted. I just wanted to hear you say recuse, Greg Farlow. Can you say that?
You're muted.
Lo siento. Recluse.
you.
Recuse myself. Yes,
you.
okay.
What about
And-
Tim?
And then Tim, he's our last one.
There we go. Aye.
And I also vote aye, so the motion passes. Thank you all so much. The next COA we have is COA 471, 363 Washington Street, and I would entertain a motion to approve the application as submitted.
I move we discuss it. Wait a minute, which one is it again?
So we are doing 471, which is 363 Washington Street.
Roofing and other work?
Oh, James O'Connor. Okay.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. So we have to bring it.
I think I move we approve it.
Okay, thank you. So Nancy made the motion to approve, and then is there a second? Richard says second. Thank you very much, everyone. So is there any discussion?
This work has already been done, correct?
Yeah, I was gonna add that from the beginning. So it's been an interesting month of roofing issues, given
Uh-oh.
the recent downfall with rain and hurricanes and all of that. James
Yeah.
O'Connor and his contractor had contacted me a couple weeks ago stating that his roof was actively leaking, and there was significant water damage occurring from all the rain we've had. So I spent a long time talking with him and talking with the contractor to understand what they planned on doing. And my understanding was they were replacing like for like, and they were just addressing the areas of concern on the roof. And what I understand that they've just, I'm looking at their COA one more time. They were not stripping the wood to, or the roof, stripping the roof to my understanding. They were just laying over existing shingles. So they didn't take anything off. They just added shingles to the roof to prevent further water damage. So that is my understanding of the proposal.
So it appears to be replacing like for like
Mhm.
as needed. So it would look to be necessary and appropriate. I mean, I know it's after the fact, but you want to preserve the house too.
Yeah, I encouraged him to still submit a COA, even though that I gave him the verbal okay to move forward. I said it just is the better, you know, with the process, and they were fine with that. So
Yeah.
I think the only
it
thing that
seems-
would be different, oops,
I was just gonna say, so they put the new wood shingles on over the existing ones?
yeah,
Okay, I didn't know you could
Yeah.
do that. Huh.
yeah, I didn't know it either, but for like a patching, that's different. But I think the only thing that's different there is I don't think it had a ridge vent before, correct? That was along the main ridge.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if it had a ridge vent existing already. I do not
But-
know the answer to that, Tim.
But with the cap, it's very difficult to see that or tell that or whatever. The only thing I was gonna say was I'm still not sure what a pipe boot is. Pipe boot.
Yeah, that's just something that, you know, you have like the vent for your waste system in the house that comes up through the roof. And,
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
boot is good, it would give the weather seal around that boot, around that
Yeah.
pipe.
All right. Got it.
Okay, great. So are there any further further discussion on the application?
Nope.
Okay, hearing none, I'm going to do the roll call vote, and I'll start with you, Richard,
Good morning.
I,
Hey, honey.
and
Did
Greg
you put him
Johnson,
out, Tim?
Yeah, I did.
Nancy,
Aye.
Greg Farlow.
Aye.
Thank you, Tim.
Aye.
And I also vote aye, so the motion passes unanimously. Thank you guys so much. The next item on our agenda is COA 472, which is 87 Town Street. And I would entertain a motion to approve the application as presented and submitted.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you so much, Greg. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Tim. For any further discussion? I will
So-
add,
Well,
sorry, I'll just add for
Did this come up-
discussion. Oh, sorry, Tim, let me just finish real quick. For discussion, I will add that Judy Bell did send me that invoice from overhead, and she sent it to me before the public hearing closed. So I feel like I can share this information with you because she did send it to me before we closed the public hearing. And what I was going to do, if I can be smart enough with my tech here, is I was going to share my screen so you guys can see the proposal, so we're all seeing the same thing.
Okay.
So as I'm
Well, not
doing
all
that,
of
go
us.
ahead, Tim.
Not all of us, but tell me if it's, I think what we're just questioning was what the material was going to be. It was, the canvas or whatever the coated thing. What I was going to say was two things, actually. The first was, I got to believe that I remember this having a COA in front of us before, correct? Of this?
Correct. Yep, correct.
This is a different one. What was different from this and the previous one? I don't remember.
3 feet.
The problem before, Tim, is they tried applying, but I think it came before us twice, but they never gave any details on what they wanted to do.
Okay. All right.
Was
So,
this the
then
same
the-
place?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the same thing they've wanted all along. It took them a while to understand what they needed to put it on the application.
I thought there was one right around the corner from them. Was that that was not the spot?
Mm-mm.
no,
It's this. Okay,
That's
so it
different.
never got approved and never got done.
Correct.
Correct. And then the
Okay,
only other
thanks.
part, as you go around the corner, you're obviously going uphill, and so you're gonna that overhang has to be something that's you're not going to get caught underneath as you try to walk through. But I'm sure they have. She said like a 2-foot overhang. I don't know if I'm 5'8". I don't know if that would affect me trying to walk on the sidewalk or walk off the sidewalk into the street, wherever the overhang is going to hit there. But I'm sure that'll be okay.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't impact you walking on the sidewalk, Tim, because that existing wooden overhang covers the entire sidewalk.
I'm just thinking that as I went to go from off the street into like that where that car is parked, whatever, as that thing is draped down, would that affect me? But
Yeah, I think the overhang ends about where the stop line is for the parking and for the traffic there. So if you
Goes
jumped
out
off the
24 inches.
sidewalk before then, you'd be into the street, into the intersection.
Mhm.
okay. So does it say what the material is?
Yes,
What
so
you're sharing?
yep, so I've got the screen share right now, and what I
Mhm.
will read to you, Tim, so you can hear it too, is it says we will furnish and install 3 7-foot, I'm assuming that's saying 7-foot Sol Lux retractable awnings on the overhang above Sweet Mama's Bakery. I don't know what a Sol Lux retractable awning is. I'm assuming
That's a brand.
okay, so it's a brand of
Yeah,
awning.
yeah,
It's what? Oh, a
So
brand.
It's a brand.
Oh.
yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, but does it say the material somewhere else? No?
No. It's probably going to be vinyl covered canvas. That's what they make it now.
Well, or what's the name of that stuff?
What was that, Richard? I'm sorry, I missed
Oh, I
it.
was just trying to think of the name of the canvas that's used in typical awnings and like Dodgers on boats and that sort of thing. It's a
Mhm.
specific kind of canvas that's meant for UV and that. So,
Okay,
but I don't remember. That's okay.
so they did give
Well,
us
I know-
the, oh, go ahead, Tim, sorry.
I know we talk about signage and stuff like that in future. I guess it'd be nice to have like the other sign. Here's an example of what it would look like, and seeing what that would be, if it was appropriate or not. I know we had discussion about across the street for the backlit lights on the real estate agency there. So, but they certainly have to have their name. I don't know if it's ye old Sweet Mama's type of colloquial, look and feel, but I would agree in going into that shop, it does get awful hot in there, and the sun beating down, so they need something.
Yeah, I would agree that they need something, and they will probably need to go through the zoning office for
Yep.
the city of Norwich as well. So they have a few more steps to do, I think, in all likelihood.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll just read for you, Tim, for your benefit, is they did have the dimensions of the models. So it says it's 3 by 7 by 24. And it says the color and material is TB. So I'm wondering if that is saying to be determined. If that's what that means.
Regan, I think that's quantity 3 of 7 by 24.
Oh, thanks, Greg. I'm glad someone else
Right.
is reading this. Thank you.
Yeah, that would make
Yeah.
sense.
It's basically
Thank you.
21 feet long total.
Thank you, Greg. I totally misread that. Yeah, so it's 3 of the 7 by 24s. Thank you, Greg. I don't know where my brain is today.
Just Googling this thing. It seems to say Solux is solar powered smart window warning. Sometimes they're automatic and material metal, but I think that's just some of them. I don't know that that's all of them. So I'm not sure we really quite know the answer. I don't know if she even knew the answer.
I think that's the frame of it, though, and I would be surprised if they're going to be retracting it and back and forth,
Yeah,
unless there was
right.
a big storm coming up. I would think it'd be pretty much permanent, in which case her going for another quote somewhere else might make more sense. They probably don't need a fancy retractable type thing. They just need the awning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my understanding is I bet the brackets are metal, which would make sense because,
Yeah, the brackets to telescope on the sides to support it as it would come out.
yeah, I would
Yeah,
agree.
I suspect that this was probably the quickest quote she could get to have something.
Yeah. So what we could also do is we could approve the awning and I could work with them about the material. You know, we've been talking about canvas tonight.
Mhm.
If that makes sense for us to help them move forward and to just get going, because we've had a couple false starts with them already. So I'd like for them to get something for the spring, and maybe we could work with them on the material of the awning.
I think that sounds like a good idea, Reagan.
Okay.
I think
How would
we
you-
agree
how
with
would-
the size of it, right? We agree with the size. It's 21 foot is probably going to be the length of that, the awning, as we said, and 2 foot is not offensive to us, right?
So the width is 7 and the projection is 24. That's what it says here on the invoice.
Yeah, so I think that means it's hanging down 24 inches.
24 inches, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
How far out does it go? That's the point.
I think it
We
goes
don't
straight
know.
down.
It's going to be an overhang, is it not?
Yeah.
The overhang's already there. If you look at the picture,
Yeah.
there's a wooden, think of it like a roof that extends out over
Right,
the entire
right.
width of the sidewalk. So this
Mhm.
this looks like it's just going to hang down straight from the edge of that roof.
Okay.
Right. I don't think it's going to extend further out. I think it just drops down.
Okay, blocks down, it doesn't go out. Goes
Yeah.
actually down to cover a window and give you enough clearance to walk underneath it, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with their logo or their name being on the awning. I think that's appropriate. I think we just may need some clarification about the proposed material. Other than that, I think I'm comfortable with the dimensions.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so then let me stop sharing so we can get back to seeing each other's faces.
So when you work with the materials, we're okay with the size, we're okay with the name on it, but we do want it not to extend further out. We just think it should drop straight down. That's our understanding, is it's not extending that roof and dropping down. It's just dropping down from the existing roof line.
Check out this.
Yes, Tim. Yeah, I agree with you.
Regan, how do you have it approved though with you working with the material? You mean make it subject to?
So what I
Working-
was just gonna do is make an amended motion
Yeah,
to, I may need to wordsmith this, so bear with me as I do this. So I was gonna make an amended motion to approve the dimensions and the content of the awning. And the commission will work with the applicant on determining the material of the proposed awning. Does that sound good?
so that implies that it's subject to your approval in the discussions that you have, correct?
Correct, yeah, we would want to have final say on the final proposed material because at this time, we don't have that information. But we can approve the dimensions and the content of the awning at this
Well,
point.
would you say then and work with the commission on the material to the commission's satisfaction or something?
Or we could just simply say, work with the commission on the material.
Do you think that that's enough? You could work on it and never reach a resolution, and I'm not saying it'll happen, but they could say, we want this, and you'll say, no, that's inappropriate, we want that, and that's still working with you on it, but not resolving it. So
True.
that leaves it ambiguous, I think.
That's
Then you're
true.
Lawyer?
I will
Well,
caution that Sweet Mama
you
is
don't want
a
to
little
say it
bit
too
of
harshly either. I understand that. Working with the commission to a mutually agreeable solution or resolution on the material? No?
No, I think that sounds good.
I mean, you could just say something simple like
Sure.
material to be approved by the commission.
That's true
Work
too.
with the commission such that the material is to be approved by the commission. Yeah, that's clear.
Okay. So then I will make an amended motion to accept the applications. No, hang on. Sorry. I should have written this out first. I make, I make,
So I made the original motion. How about if I just amend my motion to say, subject to the material being approved by the commission?
or that's clean. That's better.
Yeah, that's good. I'll second that. Or second the amended, I guess,
There you
right?
go.
Yeah, second the amended motion. Thank you. Is there further discussion on the amended motion?
Nope.
Catherine, did you get that?
Yeah, and if I don't have it right, you could always adjust it when I do the record of votes.
Okay, and we'll have the recording too to refer back to.
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to check. All right, any further discussion on the amended motion?
No.
All right, hearing none, I'll do the roll call vote and I'll start with you, Richard,
aye.
Greg Johnson,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
Greg Barlow,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
and Regan, aye. Thank you all. Motion passes unanimously. I will be in touch with the applicant. The last COA we have here is COA 473, 389 Washington Street. And I would entertain a motion to accept the application as submitted.
That's 473, you said, right?
Yep, COA 473, correct.
I move we
389
discuss it.
Washington. Well, I think we need to move to either have a determination on it. I think we have to either make a motion to like accept or deny, and then in discussion, we can vote to like amend the original motion.
Move we accept it as written.
Thank
as
you, Richard.
presented. I'm sorry.
I'll
as
second it.
presented.
Thank you, Greg. And now we can have discussion. So let me just preface this by saying this was another roof issue that we had this past month of the owner having active leaking and active water damage issues with the roof. And they had contacted me as well within actually the same week as the other application. And they were saying that they were replacing like for like, and they were only replacing on a on like the back porch area of the house. It was not the main structure. It was not the main roofing structure. It was just the porch that is on the back of the house. And it was replacing like for like. Unfortunately, the contractor did not get me photos in time when I needed to submit the application to the city. He sent them to me 2 days later, which I have, but don't count. And my understanding was that there were architectural shingles, or no, excuse me, asphalt shingles on the existing structure, and they replaced it with asphalt shingles. So that's my understanding.
So Regan, this is the big white house that's kind of up the hill from Washington Street. Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Yes,
Yep.
it's right at the little fork thing.
I didn't even
That's
realize
Coit
that was
House,
part
the
of,
old Coit House.
I didn't even realize that was part of Washington Street.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a good
It's the old
question.
Coit House. Yeah, the Coit House.
Yeah, that's a good point. It almost is on the other street, isn't it? It's on the hill.
Yeah.
It's Washington though.
Yeah,
But
it
the
is
front-
included on Washington.
It's
Right,
it's
the front
Washington.
entrance is that way, is facing Washington.
Okay.
And if I know Nadine, I know she'd had it done right, so.
Yeah, she was all in a panic, and I felt very
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it was a lot of weird rain then.
She had
So
a
it was
lot of rain.
asphalt. Yep, and caused a lot of trouble. So it was asphalt and replaced with asphalt. So that was going to be my question. What
Yeah.
were we replacing it with? And it's like for like at that time. So really seems like kind of an emergency too, honestly, doesn't it?
It was an emergency. Both roofs this past month were emergencies. They were actively leaking and actively causing significant damage to the interior of the homes. And I had asked all of the applicants if could you just tarp it temporarily, and they said, well, not really. It's not going to work. And I said, all right, I figured I'd ask, and if that's not the case, then we'll help you out and move forward. So this was an emergency, like the other application on Washington Street was too. But I don't know what was up with Washington Street, that both houses are like only a couple rows away from each other, and they had this significant issue.
Well, you know, if
Contractors that quickly.
if you saw that September 1st flash flooding thing, I mean, I guess that wouldn't be their roof problem, but it flooded Bacchus Hospital's parking lot. It flooded a building we own on Bliss Place. It took out all 3 furnaces. I mean, it really did awful things, and it ruined cars that were parked at Bacchus. It's a huge flash flood that went through there. So right up the road on Washington Street, I'm sure it was blowing around and messing a lot with the roofs as well. I don't know. It was a mess. So I think what she did was appropriate, and we should approve it. It seems like to me.
Sounds good. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I will do the roll call vote and start with you, Richard.
Aye.
Greg Johnson,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
Greg Farlow,
Aye.
Tim,
I'm gonna protest that you don't start in reverse order every once in a
No,
while.
don't feel
but
badly.
oh, you want me
Well,
to start with you next time? I'm sorry, Tim.
I'm gonna say aye.
Okay, I'll start with you next time. And then I will say aye as well. So thank
Well,
you
there-
all. The motion passes unanimously. And we are moving down to approval of the minutes of the Wednesday, September 15th, 2021 regular meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as written and submitted?
I move we approve the minutes.
Thank you, Nancy. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Tim. Any discussion?
I had one correction that I just noticed just now. Under COA 464, I think the aluminum gutters were painted, not planted.
Oh, there you go.
And just
So
below
I'd
that,
rather
in
see them planted.
yeah. Just below that in 465, the second gas should be stricken.
Okay.
All right, you got those changes, Catherine?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so with those changes, is there a, oh wait, I already made, sorry. That happens when I'm been working all day and my brain gets fried. Any further discussion on the minutes? All right, hearing none, I will start with the roll call, and we'll start with you, Tim.
Okay, aye.
I'll keep going in reverse here. I'll do you next, Greg Farlow.
Aye.
Was that aye?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, am I mute?
No, I hear you. I wasn't sure. So thank you.
Yeah.
Nancy,
I seem confused. I am,
Aye.
but that's okay.
Greg Johnson,
Aye.
Richard,
Aye.
and I also say aye. Thank you so much, Catherine, for all your help on the minutes. Great job as always. I don't have anything to report for chairman's report, old business or new business. The only last thing I'll mention is our next meeting is tomorrow, October 21st, 2021 at 5:30. It's our special meeting to have our public information session about updating our design guidelines. And our consultant, Chris Skelly, will be on hand to give a brief presentation and to answer questions. That will be tomorrow. Yes.
Point.
Yes, is there a question? Go ahead, Greg.
I think I mentioned this to you before, but will we be getting any information ahead of time, or will it just be as he presents it?
Yeah, so he's just giving a brief informational session, and
Okay.
he is planning on having a draft to the commission maybe in 2 to 3 weeks for review, but he doesn't have it done yet. So this is just kind of the info session for the public to inform them what we're planning on doing.
Input,
Input, information,
Okay.
we are planning on
public
having,
input, I meant.
yeah, public input, yeah. So we're also planning on having a second public input session probably in December when we have a first draft finalized, so the public can actually read it and see the content in the design guidelines. So, and Chris will go over all this tomorrow, but for your for your information about how things will go, we'll have the info session tomorrow, the public info session. Then in about 2 to 3 weeks, Chris will submit the first written draft of the historic district design guidelines to the commission for review. The commission will provide the first initial feedback to Chris. He'll incorporate some of those changes in the next couple weeks, mid-November, end of November kind of time frame. Then we're thinking early December, have a second public input meeting, which will at that time have the first draft online so people can view the draft on our website and provide comments at that second meeting. And then based on that second public input meeting, we will incorporate changes probably throughout the month of December. And my goal is to have the design guidelines approved by the January meeting on, what date is that? I'm just double checking here on my calendar. At the January 19th, 2022 regular meeting of the commission. So that is the timeline that we're looking at right now.
So Chris will be presenting essentially, not anyone else really.
Nope, I'm going to introduce him and just explain what we're doing and then turn it over to him. And he and I will both handle questions as they come. If it's more appropriate for him to answer the questions, he'll do it. Or if it's more appropriate for me, I will do it. That's how we're going to work it.
So Regan, how do people of the public know about this to attend?
I have been promoting it the best I could. I've been putting it on Facebook. I did put it in the newspaper. I finally got the city of Norwich to put it on their Facebook page today. I don't know how well attended our session will be tomorrow. The benefit is it's going to be recorded, so we can always share the video after the fact. And the other benefit is that we are going to also do a second session in December where hopefully we can get more advertising before then. I will be honest, my October just is nuts with my own work stuff. So I've been trying to push and plug as much as I can. In an ideal world, what we would do for the December public input meeting is I'd love to mail a postcard to every resident in the district to let them know that they should attend that meeting if they would like to provide further input. So maybe I can employ my commission members to help me with with doing something like that.
The mail out, yeah.
If we can't mail a postcard, you could always just make a flyer and just walk around and stuff it in everybody's door. It wouldn't take that long.
Well, that's true. Or we even just do a mailer. That's almost, I don't know what's easier, a postcard or like a letter being mailed. So we'll have to figure that out.
Well, letter's easier to print.
Yeah, that's true. But then that's a little bit more work on us because then we'd have to stuff the envelopes and stamp the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's a little harder.
You could just walk around instead of paying 50 cents a copy to mail these things out. Just walk around the neighborhood and stick them in the mailboxes.
Can't do
True.
that.
Can't do that?
Can't stick them in the mailboxes.
Yeah, I know the mail carriers get mad at people when they do
Well,
that.
it's federal property, even though you bought it. Unfortunately.
Mine doesn't say mail on it. It's just a box.
There you go. Do we have emails of residents?
I have emails,
no.
but not for everybody. So that's, I can't
How about a
blanket email.
blast?
Well, I can't blanket email people who, so I'm sorry, let me backtrack. So I need to just make sure everybody is notified in some fashion.
Yeah.
So whether
Yeah.
we email certain people and mail items to those I don't have email addresses for, maybe that's what we do, but I just need to make sure that some people are not left out, that we get the information to everybody.
Okay.
But for this occasion, basically it was in the newspaper and here or there, and
All right.
that we haven't notified each one. So if they go to the website, they would see this link or whatever, is that it?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, people who are participating in the session tomorrow are likely going to call in because they were not given the Zoom link like you guys were and like Chris was. They're probably going to just call in on the phone because we're not.
Yeah, but
in the
is it
Zoom
at the
link.
website though, if they went
Oh, yeah.
to the website? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
It's on
So
our
what
website.
about like, we invited, remember we mentioned Mr. Largent could come if he wanted to?
Yep,
And so he would have to get that by going to the website, I'm thinking, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay,
I guess my thinking is that random people in the historic district are not going to go onto the website to see if there's something going on and know that there's this hearing.
right.
Hardly anybody reads the newspaper. I'm one of the, I do get a newspaper, but I did not see it in the newspaper, but I only get the
Cam did,
newspaper on
yeah.
Sundays.
Which paper, Cam?
The Norwich Times.
The Norwich Times, she saw it.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. Now, is it the same link we used tonight, or do we go to your site for a different link?
There should have been a second email with the link. I'm happy to
Okay.
send the link again if those need it.
Yeah, Catherine sent that out, but it was actually, I think it was a few days before she sent the one for this meeting.
Yeah, she had sent it prior. Yeah, we had gotten that one figured out and finalized first, and then we were like,
Would it-
oh, wait.
Would it be difficult for you to send it out again so it's good and fresh or not?
No, I can do that.
Good, that'll help me, thanks.
I'm trying to know.
Wake up in
I'm
the
just
morning
thinking-
and it'll be.
I'm just suggesting, Regan, that depending upon what the turnout is tomorrow night, that we may want to consider some alternatives for communicating it. You know, maybe we just invest in a couple of lawn signs and set them up in the historic district to say, hey, there's this seminar. I mean, people see those.
Mhm.
Contact the radio station.
Radio station's good too. Stu Leonard will, or Breyer.
So what
will,
I've done.
Leonard.
So what I've done for everyone's notification for promotion for tomorrow, what I've done is I've sent press releases to the newspapers and the radio stations. I curated the Norwich Historical Society's Historically Speaking column based on our public session tomorrow. So it's just all about the design guidelines and information about how to participate in the session. So that went in the bulletin on Monday. I've been plugging it on the Historical Society's Facebook page, which reaches many people here in the Norristown district. I don't know if anyone else in the Little Plain likes us on Facebook, but I know a lot of people in Norristown do. And then I also did a e-blast with the Historical Society membership because we have some overlap with that list as well. So those are the things that I did to help promote. So
Say hello. Bye.
so next time would be good to do a mailer in some fashion, I think.
Yeah.
Right. I would agree with, I think that's what Greg was saying, depending on the turnout here. Now that we have legalized gambling in Connecticut, do we have an over under of how many people we think are going to show up?
I'll guess 5 to 10.
I hope so. I hope people show up.
Hopefully.
Well,
All right.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But like I said, I think for the next one, when we schedule it with Chris, definitely I'd love help with the mailer. I will be less swamped in November and December, but I would appreciate help nonetheless.
okay.
Count me in.
Thank you guys. Even if we do an envelope stuffing party here at the visitor center, we'll
Sure.
get pizza or something.
Yeah. No problem.
Sounds
Make it
good.
fun. All right, everybody. Anything else to bring before the commission at this time?
No,
Hearing none, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second, Richard, thank you. And I will do the roll call one last time. And Tim, we'll start with you again.
Aye.
I like how he hesitates.
He's got nothing else to do tonight.
Greg Farlow,
Aye.
Nancy,
hi.
Greg,
Aye.
Richard,
Aye.
and I as well. Thank you, guys. I will see you back here tomorrow night,
5:30, right, Reagan?
5:30, same time.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you, guys.
bye.
Greg, you're
Good
not
night,
trying to
everyone.
go over to Lothrop, are you?
The who?
No, I think it's kind of late. They usually wind up by 7, so.
Yeah,
I figure about-
I'm just gonna go eat then. Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
all right.
Thanks, guys. See you
Bye.
tomorrow.
Night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.